Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of Dismal Disney. We're going to talk about Disney price gouging. Apparently they want to jack up the prices on streaming again because they're trying to actually force you over to the ad-supported tier.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about, which I've been saying that's what they're going to do. And then along the same lines, we have Disney was boasting about the record profits, and CNBC is like, oh, Disney's winning. And it's like, no, they're gouging everybody, which is, they're not getting more customers. They're just gouging the ones they have. And that's not really a win. It's just turning people off. Yeah.
And we've seen more and more Disney lifestylers, Disney influencers turning on Disney. In fact, I just saw some tweets the other day, people saying that they're not going to fix the lights in Epcot.
They aren't fixing them?
They're not fixing
them. You mean the ones in the new area around the fountain or whatever?
Yeah,
or the Vagina Garden area?
The Vagina Gardens, yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, the bejeweled, bedazzled Vagina Gardens. Yeah,
apparently the lights that were broke within like 2 days of it opening.
Yeah, the word is they're not even going to bother fixing them.
Of course they aren't. That costs money.
Because it costs money.
But then meanwhile, CNBC is like, oh my God, and Disney's spending so much money, and they're gonna bring it, guys.
No.
Sure they are. CNBC, who also constantly gets the CEOs on their channel for exclusives and stuff. So it's about access.
So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So walk me through this. We know that Disney likes money.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to take us back a little bit here. If you remember when we had the Charter Spectrum fiasco, and then the latest one, I forget which cable provider it was with that time too. And people were like, oh my God, the cable networks kicked Disney's ass. And I'm like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Because Disney's going to walk away with millions of subscribers that are new subscribers they're selling into the cable network at wholesale prices, but they're putting them on the ad-supported tiers. And the ad-supported tiers, they actually make more money on the customers. I kept telling you this.
Yeah, so they look at this. This is what the ARPU is, the revenue per user. And they're going to look at it and be like, oh yeah, somebody that we're showing ads to. And trust me, like the Hulu ads especially are incredibly invasive.
Yeah, don't give me ad free my ass. 13 ads. We've had ad spots with 13 ads in them.
There's a little bit of a disclaimer there. It's like the new content, they're still going to show ads on. It's just got to be
older content. They still showed ads on it, and we pay for ad free. So I don't know what
you pause it, and on the pause screen there's ads.
So I can't imagine how insufferable it is for ad supported. I don't know, but I'm sure it's not, unless they're making it worse for ad free to make you go to ad supported. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, that could be too. They people could be like, well, I'm paying so much more, and there's still ads. It's not a great experience. So
no, and it's ridiculous. And they just raised the prices like a month ago. It was like a month ago tomorrow. I think it was the 18th of October. They just raised their prices. Now, if you were listening to the investor call, they basically told you they're going to raise them again.
Yeah.
Because during the investor call, the CFO, Hugh Johnston, said, we certainly look to continue to increase pricing in line with the value we're providing to customers. Bitch. There isn't one.
What?
A lot of the growth that we're seeing right now is because of the exceptional content that's coming out of both the movie and TV studios that obviously are proprietary. It's our proprietary content. So that'll enable us to increase pricing over time. They're just telling you they're going to jack prices again because they don't think that they're getting the right amount of money for their proprietary content.
So here's the thing. Most of their shows have been Marvel and Star Wars.
And they haven't been very successful.
And they've failed, and they've been way too expensive. And if they're going to try to price themselves like Netflix, you're not bringing consumers nearly as much content as Netflix is. Netflix has all kinds of shows for all kinds of people, and you're just not. You're not.
And they usually end up in the top. It's always like Netflix.
Top 10's completely dominated
compared to Disney. Yeah. So they said that, and then Iger had to mention too that he said it's not just about raising pricing. It's about moving customers to the advertised supported side of the streaming platform. He said 60% of the new subscribers go to the ad supported tier because it's cheaper. Only 37% go ad free, which really isn't ad free. They lie about that. But they want you on the ad supported tier because then they can get money from you twice. Once from your paid account, and then they use you. They roll you into the numbers they sell to advertisers to get higher dollars for the more people they have for spots. They get paid far more per person on the ad-supported tier than they do on the ad-free tier, which is why they're trying to force everyone over there. Which is why I said they did not lose when they made deals with some of these providers, like, Charter Spectrum, and everybody's like, ha, 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 they kicked Disney's butt, ha, 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 ha. No, they didn't, which I kept telling you. They didn't, because Disney wants you on the ad-supported tier because they make more money out of you. They just got handed a whole bunch of customers to up their numbers on the ad-supported tier. That's what it was about. They lost nothing. They gained. They won. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and this is true. This is kind of how. I mean, I'm looking back at Disney Channel, and Disney Channel originally when it started, to offset the costs, it was pay TV. It was like HBO. It was like $20 a month or something, and then eventually they went to commercials, or I think it was you still had to pay for it, but you didn't have to pay as much. And then eventually they just transitioned it into a regular cable channel with the advertising, because honestly, they probably made more money that way back then. And it's the same kind of thing they're doing now. They basically have come full circle to cable. Disney Plus and Hulu are replacing their cable channels. Pretty
much. Your linear TV is like dying. Yeah. And then we also have their AI new Office of Technology Enablement. And part of the reason they're doing this, I guarantee you, is they're going to use AI to serve better ads, more targeted ads, to use your information to make sure they upsell you, and they give advertisers, and they're going to brag about this to advertisers to get them to spend more money on advertising. So they have, it's making the rounds now, and I retweeted it, but Coca-Cola, they're getting backlash from people because they did AI Christmas commercials. And they do look very AI, but it's interesting to see how far the technology has come in a very short time. What I could totally see a company like... Sorry, I'm laughing because a lot of their commercials were animated and weren't real people anyway. I know, they'd rather... I was like, I'm not really seeing... Well, this is the thing. It feels like, the backlash toward CGI back in the day. We had a lot of traditional artists that were like, CGI is an abomination, and now it's the norm. The Coca-Cola polar bears, they were CGI. Real. They're not real. But people are having a fit about it. It's actually, it's a cute commercial. It looks very AI. I didn't see it, but... So here's what I can see happening and why I think Disney's investing in it. I think and we talked about this yesterday, I think eventually the new normal is going to be that the advertisements are going to be kind of spun up on the fly to appeal to that particular consumer. So it's like, okay. Well, we talked before about how they were going to start putting they could change out images in shows and stuff for like what the ads people were paying. Yeah. Like if there's like a bottle of Pepsi, they could change it to Coke. Well, Coke's paying. Right. So they'll do that. And they'll also, with the advertisements, they'll be like, okay, instead of like, let's, have a discussion about the representation in ads or whatever, it's going to be like, okay, let's target you. So you happen to be white, you happen to be black, you happen to be straight, you happen to be gay. We're going to spin this. We're going to have the template ad, but we're going to insert someone that you can relate to into this ad to get you to buy. Maybe the ad will change depending on your buying habits or, what products we think you're going to buy. And that's what's going to happen. And we're already kind of seeing that now. Like, God, you go to Amazon for anything and it freaking follows you around the internet forever. Mm-hmm. So Disney's going to be doing the same thing. They want you. Their CFO and their CEO both told you, we want you on the ad-supported plan because we make more money off of you. And that's what they're telling investors. Yes. So I told you guys that was what they were doing, even though other people said that was not the case. It was definitely the case. Now they're even telling you that from the higher up. I also find it interesting, though, going advertising on Disney Plus. That was Bob Chapek. Yeah. Bob Chapek set that one up. So I just think it's funny. They're all like, look at us. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't do it, Bob Chapek. Well, that's why they're not going to slap down AI too hard, because they're going to use it to monetize people better. That's what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. They didn't slap it down. They made a whole new department just for using it. No, but they wanted them to like denounce AI. These creatives want them to denounce AI. They're not going to. They doubled down. They're not only are they going to make more money on advertising, but they're going to eventually be able to replace people. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what they're going to do, and they're going to save even more money, because at the end of the day, the current Disney company, Disco, all they care about is what looks good to the investors. Creativity be damned. They don't give a shit anymore. They used to, but they don't. And now they're just like, yeah, look, maximum profits, guys, maximum profits. So along the same lines about Disney price gouging everyone, because they said they're going to raise the price on Disney and Hulu and ESPN again. They flat out said this. CNBC was doing this thing, and they're like, Disney's winning and everything else. They're like, it's turning record park profits even before its big expansions. I'm like, there's not as many people down there. I've seen report after report after report that the attendance is down because people can't afford it.
Yeah.
But the people that are coming are getting gouged. That's the whole thing. So they're like, they're saying that the 2024, the parks brought in $41.18 billion. It was the second biggest division in growth. And I'm like, do you remember up until recently that the theme parks were always the first? They were always the one that carried everybody, including the entertainment and streaming. And now it's like they're bragging like it was the second biggest. What else do you have left? You have entertainment, you have the theme parks experiences and merchandise. Those are your two divisions pretty much. What other division is there?
Well, it's not going to be ABC News. That's for damn
No,
sure.
but I'm just saying, they're like, it came in second in growth. I'm like, but you only have two big ones. And normally the parks were number one. So that isn't the win you think it is. But they said that they think it's going to go up 6 to 8% more, saying that, and that's before it breaks ground on a slew of new planned land expansions, new rides, and rethemed attractions. It's a lot of rethemed attractions, some new stuff. They're saying they're going to do it. You don't know how long. They say they're going to do it by a certain amount of time. Who knows? $60 billion over 10 years over 6 theme parks. And you have to remember, too, some of that money is not all just for new stuff. It's for just maintaining your old stuff. Yeah. So it's just funny to me because they're like, they're going to kick Epic Universe's ass.
No, they're
Don't
not.
think so.
No, they can't even fix basic stuff in the parks. I mean, Epcot has been destroyed.
They redid Splash Mountain at both theme parks and it still has problems.
It still has problems. They're not, like, look, Disney at this point, again, maximum profit. They're going to do the bare minimum because they know you guys are going to come and you're going to spend your money.
Less for more.
Pretty much. And, Walt would be absolutely disgusted by this, but this isn't Walt's Disney anymore. It hasn't been for a very long time.
No, and then they're like, well, they're doing all this because everybody loves the theme parks. No. Theme park attendance is down. The reason they're up, and it still is that they used to be number one for, growth in their divisions, is because they are nickel and diming everyone. And I brought examples. DAS. They got rid of DAS Pass, and they said it was because of abuse. No, it wasn't because of abuse. I mean, I'm sure some people abused it, but people are saying they're seeing a lot of people abuse line jumping now. DAS is gone because they want you to pay for it. And people were like, who should honestly, sincerely be given a disability access, are being denied disability access, but told, your family and friends can use Genie Plus, Lightning Lane, and wait in line.
Yeah.
And then they make more money off of Lightning Lane, which Genie Plus is not Lightning Lane, because they're making people upsell to even the handicapped people who should have disability access. That's how greedy these bastards have gotten. What's good? How we get more money out of people? I know. We'll tell people we're doing it because of all the people abusing disability access. We'll make the DAS people pay for it.
Yeah, I mean it's gross. I mean,
they just started that one, and then they have the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. They just raised the Lightning Lane prices like a month or so ago. Now they're having the Premier Pass where you can pay between $130 to $450 per person per day to skip the lines. They originally started at like $15 and you can get like Genie Plus, and then it was, you had to pay per ride, and those prices keep going up. And then when they had the leak from the null bulge, the attack or whatever, they leaked the information, the hack. They said that at that point they had almost made $750 million already on it, and that was information that was from a couple years ago.
Yeah, look, they're not going to change. And here's the thing. I think before it's all said and done, I could totally see Universal, which is owned by Comcast, following suit, maybe not being as egregious because they actually have, the tech side of things, the Comcast side of things to kind of prop them up, but it's maximum profit. I mean,
well, they're charging people. You have to buy like a minimum of like 3 days to go 1 day at Epic Universe.
Yeah, because there's demand.
Doing something like that too.
Supply and demand. Now, currently the hotel prices aren't as bad.
No,
but
but their version of Fast Pass or whatever, Genie Plus is always more expensive. It's more like in line with the Premier.
Oh yeah, because I know we went to Halloween Horror Nights and we were actually going to buy the Express Pass on the spot, and he gave me the price. I forget what it was off the top of my head.
It's probably double the price of your ticket.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just wait in line. I'm good.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We have their tickets. They keep raising the price on tickets. They just raised prices on annual pass holders again. And what they do is sometimes they'll do this like, well, our lowest price ticket still is the same price. Yeah. But instead of having like 30 days at that lowest price, you might have 10.
Yeah.
And then they raise prices like Disneyland, I think they're their highest price ticket. And then a lot of the prices in between, they're like, if like last year there was like 100 days at $150, this year there's like, 200 days at $150. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they make sure that they're keeping within the same range, but they're making the cheaper tickets less and less. But they'll say, oh, we have one day available at that price, so that's our lowest price. It's ridiculous. And then, after our events like Mickey's Not So Scary and the Very Merry Christmas Party, they keep going up in price. They keep jacking that one up like crazy.
People keep paying it. That's the thing. People, I don't think we've quite hit the ceiling yet on what people are willing to pay for Disney.
I don't understand how.
They're addicted to it. I mean, they're addicted to it. And I think a lot of people go for nostalgia, but I'm like, even in the last 10 years, I've seen such a change in Disney that I'm like, it's not even the same park it was 10 years ago.
Well, the prices are probably double by now.
Oh, they are,
they outpace inflation significantly.
And again, the only thing that's going to be a huge wake-up call for them is if their business model is just fundamentally rocked. And I thought the pandemic might have done that, but it didn't. And
no, they
people keep
around,
paying it, and it's like,
well, in Disneyland, they literally turned around and charged you tickets to go shop.
Yeah, people paid it.
They charged you to be able to access the park to spend money.
People were
that's it. You couldn't ride
so
anything.
addicted to it that we did a couple of videos talking about these Disneyland influencers that were like, "What am I going to do? I can't stream every day from Disney World," and they were so addicted to Disney, they had to get that hit of Disney that they were paying just to shop. And if Disney had it their way, I'm going to be honest, if they thought they could get away with not having any rides in that park and it was just all shopping and restaurants and pure profit, they would
charge you to get in.
Rides. Yep.
They could charge you. Be like, you go to Disney Springs, but they're going to charge you, and then you spend money.
Yeah.
And that's what they're getting to. And then they're talking about, well, $60 billion, they're going to spend this money. Just because they promise you something doesn't mean that's what you're going to get. Like Splash Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Remember what it looked like before? And then they cut the tree off and a bunch of stuff to cut the cost. And then it's like, basically everybody keeps saying it looks like you bought their stuff at Hobby Lobby and threw it in there and their screens. And then it's like that. You get Communicore Hall, Communicore Plaza instead of the big pavilion, the festival pavilion. And they do things, but a lot of times it's just re-themes or they cut corners. So by the time it's done, it's like, this isn't really exactly what you promised. But now, hey, guess what, guys? We can do an e-ticket lightning lane for that. $30 per person to get to ride it. On top of everything else. Yeah,
that's what it's about. I mean, that's what a lot of people think Rivers of America is about. They're going to put Cars Land in there. Not because they're like, oh, this will add to the park, because it definitely won't. It'll add capacity, and it'll be another e-ticket they can upcharge.
And you know how much they're going to charge per person to ride that one? A lot.
It's new? Oh, yeah.
So a lot. And that's what it's about. It's all about gouging. It's all about raising the prices. And make no mistake, it's not going to stop anytime soon. They're like record profits in the parks, and we're expecting it to go 6 to 8% up. Now, granted, we said this before. People were waiting to go to Florida because they were waiting for Epic Universe. So it probably was down at both parks, both resorts this year, because people are going to hit it hard next year. We've been saying that for a while. So Disney probably is going to get a boost just because Epic Universe opens. People are just going to go down and do one trip to do both. And they might not come back then for several years because it's going to cost them so much money.
Yeah.
But they're going to have a boost next year. It doesn't mean that boost is going to continue unless they really, really, really bring it with these expansions. And I honestly don't. I have a feeling they're going to be more cuts and less what they promised by the time it's all said and done.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just the Disney way now. That's how they do things. So we're going to wrap this up. It's disappointing. It really is, because, I mean, I can't stress to you how huge Disney was to our family for such a long time, and to see it just die like this. It's dying by death by 1,000 cuts. It sucks, but
I feel bad too, because our daughter really, really wants to go again, and we haven't been there since 2021.
It's 2022. Yeah,
and we haven't been there for a couple of years because we have people down there, and it's just been such a pain to even get time to go down. But the expense, you start looking at it, and you're like, no.
Yeah,
You can do a lot more with that money someplace else.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Like, even if you have the money to go, it's like, I can't justify that much money. It's a lot of money for a very little return on investment. So we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Join the reef. Go to clownfishminus.com. That's clownfishminus.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.